I'm Mark Pendergraf from Fort Worth, Texas, and I just took down the Bass Master Kayak Championship in my hometown. Greatest time of my life right now, Cloud 9. Fishing was tough and pre-fishing for me. I didn't really have a good pattern. I knew I could get fish, and at that time, when I knew I couldn't find big fish, I was like top 30, cut a check, make the trip worthwhile. Wednesday started out real slow for me. My spot went from a little stain to pure muddy water. So I just started moving, started throwing my crankbait on bluff walls, and I was able to pick up a few fish. And that's pretty much what I did in practice, was just run around and fish all day and just, find an average fish. By 1 o'clock, I didn't have a limit. I had a bunch of four small fish. So I headed back to the boat ramp, and I got there about 1:30. I was like, I'm just going to fish the boat ramp today, finish it out 30 minutes. Maybe I'll catch one fish and finish the limit. And I caught a striper, and I caught a couple sand bass, and caught another striper off the boat ramp. I was like, man, that's not a bad way to spend 30 minutes catching a striper. I made a bad cast, and it went to the left of the boat ramp, and I made 3 cranks on the crankbait, and I hammered a 19.5-inch fish, or a 19 3/4. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So I threw it back over there after I measured it. It got a 20.5. Threw it back over there again, got another 20.5, but I took a video of that fish instead of a picture, so I couldn't submit it. So it cost me 2 inches over my day 1 total. And then I kept fishing there, and I got a couple more 18s, and I was like, man, tomorrow I'm gonna show up and I'm just gonna sit on this boat ramp all day, and I'm gonna fish this one spot. And I grinded for 10 hours on one boat ramp, and my first fish of the day was a 24-inch monster, and it just went on from there. It was fish after fish after fish. Had the 24, had some 17s, had an 18, caught a 19 cold up, caught another 19 cold up, caught a 20 cold up, and then I kind of went through a lull, didn't get anything on about 8 casts, and I was like, maybe I should give them a break. So I just backed off and sat there and stared at the boat ramp, talked to the marina employees, talked to random passerbys. Made another cast over there and cold up a 20.5 on that 19.75, and I was like, well, I'll just let it sit again. Ended up, an old man walked down, and I was sitting there casting, and made about 6 casts and didn't get another fish. And I was like, and he started talking to me about what I was doing, so I just put up the rod and went and talked to him for a little bit, and actually about half an hour. And I finally went back. I was like, I've got to get back to fishing, so I went back and made another cast, and I cold up to a 21-inch fish, put me up for 112 inches. 112.25 inches in a 1 day total.
Was there a point where you knew you wrapped it up, or was you still concerned?
I knew Joe was on fish. I had a buddy in his area, Ryan Lambert, that he was going live and talking with Joe, and he was having fun with it. And I knew Joe was on fish. He'd been on fish day 1, and he was in the same area day 2. But I knew I put myself in strong contention to win it. I knew it was going to be extremely close. I'd also been told that he pulled 2 after the leaderboard closed off that might have put him past me or put him right below me, and it's just, I've been a nervous wreck since yesterday. It's a wild ride.
So how did you kind of cope with it today, just kind of leading up to it, just walk around the classic?
When I got here, I brought my boy and my nephew with me, and we just walked around the expo. I ran into people I knew, said hi, shook hands, and they peeked at me.
No.
Sorry. But I just walked around, just kept my mind off of it, had a beer or 2, with just talking with everybody that I knew. The walk over or the ride into the Coliseum was real emotional. I did my best not to cry. I'm doing it now. Swore I wasn't going to try on the stage, but I knew I was, and it happened.
Yeah.
I cried on the way over the lake. That was intense. I turned the music off for some reason. I was going to do something. I just sat there, and I started crying. Like, I just had the 2 best days of fishing I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I have a chance at being a national champion. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. And like I say, we hope to see you carry this on through the rest of this year.
Oh,
and
you and me both.
You're on cloud 9 now, so you got momentum.
I've got some time to sit and think right now. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.